Hey, and welcome to email marketing. First lesson that I'm posting up in the community, which is pretty exciting. I had a really cool session with three founding members of the community this afternoon, or more like this evening. Bex, Barbs, and Janice were all on the call. We had a really great time digging into a wee bit more about email marketing. And for this lesson, I'm just going to have a slightly more refined version so those that missed it can catch up on what we talked about. But if you can make the fortnightly sessions, I would really love you to, because what you'll have the chance to do in them is ask questions, and we can tailor the conversation a wee bit more for you. So in this lesson, I'll go over it quite generally, and you can hit me up with any questions that you might have. Feel free to comment in the lesson itself, or you can send me a message separately, or even post it in the community page of the group so everyone else can see. But email marketing, it is one of the little silent powerhouses of one of your business strategy. I gently use it a lot. But what I do want to say is that I have had quite a bit of time not focusing on my business. So I'm quite excited to reinvigorate my marketing strategies. And the first one I'm starting with is my email marketing. So you might have seen a couple of posts recently on my socials, which is helping me drive my email marketing, just building my lists again and getting it a wee bit more proactive. So I would love for you to follow my journey with me and maybe start your own. And hopefully after this, you have a little bit more of an understanding of the how to and the why. So we're going to cover quite a few topics. We're going to talk about the problem with social media, and then the opposite of that, the advantage of email, why it works really well, and how it converts better in terms of getting the sales that you want, or getting even just the people to have conversations with you, what you can do with email, the three things that you actually need. We're going to discuss a wee bit about what lead magnets are. That's going to really help you grow your list. A couple of ideas for lead magnets, and I'm going to show you the lead magnet that I've got. And I'm also going to recommend the platform that I use. Super simple, woman owned. In the lesson, I've got a link to the platform, and in this presentation as well, I've got a little QR code that you can scan, and takes you straight to the platform. So to start with, let's have a little yarn about the problem with social media. So this is really borrowed land. Think about Facebook, think about Instagram. You don't own those platforms. The person that does, and in fact, one company, Meta, used to be Facebook, owns them both. There's lots of others. There's TikTok. There is Pinterest, which is a bit more of a search platform, but it works equally well. There's Snapchat. There's heaps of them. They are borrowed land. You don't own any decision making around how they're designed. You don't own anything around how the algorithm works. If the platform decided to die and you had all your eggs in one basket of Facebook, or all your eggs in one basket of Instagram, your following would go with it. The organic reach is limited, and even your best content may go unseen. So the algorithm dictates who is going to see your stuff. And on the flip side of that, email is the absolute opposite. So in the back end of an email platform is essentially a spreadsheet, a list of names, a list of emails, and I don't know, maybe their birthdays and things like that. But if for some reason the platform that you chose could shut down, you could export the list and put it into somewhere else. You can email manually, but there are some restrictions around how many people you can send emails to at one time. You'll obviously have to be very careful and make sure you always use the BCC so that you're not sharing other people's private emails with others. And then there are some rules and regulations around consenting to emails and revoking that consent. So email platforms like the one I'm going to show you that I use handle all of that. So if at the bottom of an email, I'm sure you get some lovely ones. There'll be a little click here to unsubscribe sort of thing. So the platform manages all of that for you. So we really are at the mercy of the boys club that set the rules with algorithms. And on the other hand, you've got all the power in your hands with email. And it performs really well. So when you look at like across heaps of different sectors, industries, whether it's, I don't know, my business is very female focused, but even male focused, it's just a lot more personal. And if someone is chosen to receive an email from you, there's nothing stopping it hitting their inbox. Sometimes they might read it the hour that you send it. Sometimes they might read it later on that day. Sometimes they might not check their emails for a couple of weeks. So it kind of just trickles away in the background. There are people often slower, scrolling a lot slower. So Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, whatever, people are just zooming through, whereas you get a chance to connect, to sort of hold their attention a little bit longer with an email. You can also, to a degree, you can add as much as you want into an email that you send to people, but you're got less limitations on email. Let's say you could chuck a post up on Facebook and there's kind of any more than one or two links and you kind of lost people. Instagram's a wee bit tricky because you can't add links to captions on posts. You can in stories, you can't in reels. Just like people keep coming up with the new and latest thing that you got to try. In the chat this afternoon with the girls, a quick Google said that 1996 Hotmail was created. And so that's 30 years ago. So it's definitely here for the long haul. I can't be for sure that it's going to be here forever. But it's something that hasn't changed too much. And so a lot of people understand it. And just have a wee think about what emails you receive and enjoy reading or think are worthwhile to open. Maybe it's from a brand that you are familiar with and want to keep up with, if they've got a sale on or things like that. And I would encourage you to sort of seek out anybody that you do follow on your social media or you hear of, see anywhere, to go and hunt out a way to sign up to their mailing list. And see what sort of things they are sending out and how they're connecting with their audience. They also allow you to go a little bit deeper and tell some stories. There's no limit on word count or anything like that. So you can design what you'd like. Because it has a slightly higher intention and slightly higher attention from the people that are reading it, you generally see better results. So better open rates, better click rates. So the things that you're offering up in your email might be to purchase a product or a service or to watch a video to connect with you more. You see better results. And your list doesn't have to be huge. Got to start somewhere. I think mine's sitting at about the 3,000 mark. and I'm looking forward to growing it and being a bit more active with it. So, a few things that you can do on email. You can teach, you can nurture, you can tell stories. This is something I personally use a lot. I like to share who I am. I speak in my own language. I throw a few swear words in. The more true you stick to yourself, the more authentic the audience will be. If they don't like what they're hearing, they'll move away. If they do like what they're hearing, they'll stay. And those people are always going to be here for what you're here and ready to listen when you're ready to say it. And while you've got them listening, you can launch offers and you can sell without having to be too cutthroat like you sometimes need to be on social media. So it's a lovely, gentle way of connecting with your audience and having an audience to connect with. And you can set up a lot of things to be automated and work for you when you're not having to, adding to that sort of passive income mentality where the more touch points you can have with people, the more results you're going to have. So I'm not going to dive too much into how I write and send an email to my list that I've gathered. I'll do that in a future lesson. What I'm going to talk about now is just most of the lead magnets and getting started with building your list. So a couple of simple things that you need. You need an email platform, and I'm about to share mine. You need a lead magnet, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And then you're going to need a welcome sequence. And the lead magnet and the welcome sequence are going to form the next lessons for us. And then everything else is optional. So as we build on it, I'll build mine, you'll get to watch, you can build yours. We can sort of refine, catch up. You could book me for a one-on-one chat if you're really confused, not feeling too confident, or just want somebody to bounce some ideas off. Or you're more than welcome to throw some ideas in the community. So the platform I use, and hopefully you'll use as well, is called Flodesk. It is super simple. It's really beautiful. It's quite feminine. So that's why I love it. It's just lots of white space. It is very calming on the brain, and it doesn't overload you. Female owned, another tick, and it works really great for having a place to house your lead magnets. So that's the thing that you're going to give a person in exchange for their email address. So instead of weirdly saying to them, "Can I have your email address?" It's kind of like, "I'll give you this thing, and to get it, I need your email here." And you generally have a little T's and C's saying this will subscribe you. So you hopefully can scan that wee QR code, and it should take you to a page that'll help you get signed up. So lead magnets, like I said before, it's an exchange, a thing. In return for giving you their email address, you're going to give them a thing. What works really well is a thing that solves a problem. So my thing is all about knitting gauge, and how to get the right knitting gauge. So I often speak to people on my socials, talking about, when you last made a jersey, it was absolutely the wrong size and you wasted a whole heap of money on yarn, and I'd love for that to not happen to you again. Comment the word gauge and I'll send you the link to a free pattern. That is the starting point of someone going down my lead magnet tunnel. So then they comment the word gauge, send them a link, they click the link, chuck their email address in, and then they click a button that says send me the pattern. And then I've got an automated workflow set up in the background that as soon as they've done that, it fires them a PDF copy of a pattern. So this is my pattern. It is 4 pages long, and it is exactly this formatted exactly the same as my paid patterns. And my goal here, and your goal as we start looking into lead magnets that would be practical for you, is my intention or my goal is to give them something that if they think, holy shit, if this is what she's giving away for free, the other things that are paid for must be awesome. So on the first page, I've got just a normal, lovely picture like all my patterns have, just so that then they start to gain a bit of trust like, yep, these are the things I expect from needle and hook. Second page, I've got the pattern. Third page, I've got heaps of information on how to measure things like more tips and tricks, like making sure you block your knitting before or block your gauge swatch before you measure, because obviously if you wash your jersey, it's going to be washed knitting. And then on the last page, I've got a full blank sheet with tables or little blocks where people can write the yarn they used, the needles they used, and what gauge they got, so they can kind of use it as a wee reference. And then again, it's if they're getting it out multiple times, A, to see what their gauge was when they did a gauge swatch, or B, to read the pattern of it again, that I'm just becoming more present for them and likely for them to remember to come back to me. So a couple of ideas for your niche. What I tried to do here was frame it a bit. So hopefully we are end of Jan 2026, and these are a few of the niches of members that are in the group at the moment. So mine was a pattern. Let's flick over to those. One of the girls is a massage therapist, and yeah, got a runner's recovery protocol. This is not my area of expertise, so I'm clutching at straws here. And as a wee disclaimer, I did not come up with all of this. One of the other lessons that's going to be coming up soon is how I leverage the beast that is ChatGPT or AI to help me out. I do not have the hours to do it, but I have the knowledge, and I want to share how you can use that too. Another great lead magnet is a discount. So one of the girls, Barb's, her and her husband have a mobile tire business, and that I think would be a great one for them. It's kind of tricky to imagine anything else that people looking for tires would want to give in return for an email address. So we also talked tonight that loyalty cards would be quite a great idea for a lead magnet. So instead of just giving away a loyalty card, like you can imagine at your local coffee shop, sign up here and we'll send you the loyalty card. So adds a bit of exclusivity. You know, people are like, oh, this is not a dime a dozen, like kind of have to be in to get it. What else have we got? Yarn substitution checklist. I know from my time in the shop that we talked about this a lot. It's regurgitated a lot. So if something that you discuss a lot within your niche that you could put down in paper and flesh it out and make it a really valuable tool, that would be a great lead magnet. So this is where I'd love to connect with you one-on-one, or maybe in our next coffee session, you know, we could just throw some ideas together and see if it interests other people would that make me want to sign up. So there's really no end, but this is probably the trickiest bit. I was in my third shop location before I was like, holy hell, I should be using a gauge swatch pattern to bloody get people to sign up to my mailing list. It just like dawned on me one day. So hopefully with all these ideas rumbling around in your head, get your notebook out, jot something down, have a look around Instagram, Facebook, see who's calling for, comment on this, click on this to be given whatever. See if you can find some lead magnets. I'll try to find some good examples and share them in the community tab. And then the more you see it, the more you'll see it. And then hopefully at the most random time, you'll think of an idea and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So it's really great to get the idea ready before you dive into paying for the email platform and then stalling on it for a couple of months and beating on yourself that you haven't got it sorted yet. So first step is to get your lead magnet sorted. And then when you're ready, let me know. Hopefully by that stage, I've got the next lesson lined up and I can help you get it into your Flodesk or whatever email platform you use, and you'll be away laughing. So next lessons. Once you've got your lead magnet, we will create that workflow so that it's all automated, and I'm just like got a leg up guarding cat and a dog from having a go at each other. The cat is naughty. We'll get the workflow going so that while you're sleeping, you can gather new clients and they'll get delivered their lovely freebie or whatever you promise. Then what we'll do is we'll look towards a welcome sequence. So another automation or workflow, just like a lead magnet. Once a client or a lead does this thing, send this thing, then what we'll do is set up a welcome sequence. So it's another, it gets triggered. So once someone signs up, in 7 days or straight away, whatever timing you like, send this first email. First email is generally, I like to see a bit of an about you, what you're up to, who you're here for. And then people are like, oh, is this for me? Yep, no. All the no's will unsubscribe. They've got their free thing. Let them unsubscribe and carry on their way. All the people that are meant to stay with you will stay with you. And then you'll have a way more engaged audience. Aim of the game, engaged audience. And then we'll work on some segments. So segments is where you can put people in boxes depending on where they're at, what they're into. For me, I've got a couple of things that I'm passionate about that sometimes they cross over for people, but sometimes it's totally different people. So I'm really passionate about this sort of community and building other females' confidence in business. I'm really passionate, obviously, about my knitting and my crochet. I'm on a bit of a bloody health journey at the moment, so maybe that's another pillar that people might relate to, and then one day they might be keen to join this community and I can earn an income there. Or one day they might be keen to knit and I can sort of just speak to them all. But if I'm talking to my knitters, I could have a segment of knitters and just send them emails about patterns and yarn. And I can have a segment like all you girls, I've got you guys in a segment of the Elevate Club. So I could just email out about that. And people who are interested in that, I could have a lead magnet in time. A great thing for a lead magnet for that could be this recording. So I might in time share that on my socials and say, if you want to join us for delicious deep dives like this, click the link and I'll give you the in or something like that. I just lost my train of thought. We had a really good other conversation in the deep dive tonight, but it's gone. Damn it. It was another idea of a lead magnet. But anyway, it'll come back to me. I'll share it. I'll share it in the post. So hopefully you enjoyed that. 24 minutes is not too bad. I'm trying to keep it sort of bite-sized so it doesn't take up too much of your time. Check the calendar in the community for the next time we catch up. Because as I say, with the girls this afternoon, it was really good. They had some amazing questions. I showed them around inside Flodesk as a little bit of a try before you buy. And it was really great. It was not too many of us, and it was nice to give each other a chance to meet and greet and just talk quite one on one, pretty much nice and intimate. So I'll put this up here, and I'll see you in the next part of this lesson, or maybe in a new lesson. See you later.